So I had a few typos on this slide. In the previous screencast, I've corrected them here, so please note wherever it said 800 should be 700. So we have lambda is 700 nanometers. The subscript for the index of refraction for that wavelength, also 700. 700 here, 700 here. This is the angle of refraction for the 700 nanometer wavelength light, right? So that's 77.02 degrees. So again, we've used Snell's law to calculate the angles of refraction for these two different wavelengths. The big one is 83.34 degrees. The somewhat smaller angle to this ray is 77.02 degrees. The angle between these two rays, of course, is just the difference between these two numbers. That's 4.32 degrees. Okay, so one more thing to go over here. I really like this a lot. This is a nice application of dispersion, and it is rainbows. Okay, you've all seen rainbows. You know what they look like, right? We have light in the different colors. We have the light kind of shaped into a kind of a semicircular bow. We know that it is associated with rain when the sun is shining. Okay, so you've all seen rainbows. It doesn't happen. You don't see a rainbow when it's just cloudy everywhere and raining. You don't see it without rain or without water droplets in the air. You need both sunlight and rain. Okay. So what's happening is, okay, let's look at this picture over here. You're the observer, this little figure here, and you're looking up. What are you looking at? You're looking at a rain shower. Okay, so you're looking at in a direction where rain is falling. There are approximately spherically shaped droplets of water, which are falling from the cloud to the ground. Okay, and you'll notice that you have your back to the sun. So the sun is over here. It's way over there, but the sunlight is coming in this direction. And what's happening is the sunlight meets rain droplets. And what happens when the sunlight meets a rain droplet? Okay, let's take a look. Here's a rain droplet. And let's say the sunlight is coming in this direction. And what happens? Well, the sunlight is going through air, goes then into water. So it is going to refract. Because the index of refraction of water is greater than air, the light will bend towards the normal. Normal, let's say to this point right where it is striking this spherical droplet, normal would be in this direction. So the light is bending towards the normal. Well, sunlight is a mixture of all the different colors. It's what we call white light. And so what happens when the white light refracts, it will be bent at different angles depending on color. The bluish light will tend to bend more, the red light will bend a little bit less. Okay, so just like with the prism example that we went over previously, the light will tend to disperse and it'll tend to break up into these different colors. Then what happens? Well, the light will hit the back interface of the back side of the rain droplet, another interface between water and air. Some of that light will refract through into the air. We don't care about that light. What we care about is the portion of the light which gets reflected. So the light will get reflected, some light will get reflected, and then it will hit another interface here. And this light will refract as it goes from water into the air. And once again, the light will disperse even more, right? The light will break up into its different colors even more than it did over here. Okay, or we have dispersion happening twice. So what happens, if you think about it, white light is coming in this direction through dispersion, refraction, and reflection. We get this effect where light ends up being directed not back to where it came from. It's directed a little bit down here. If the light happened to be going in this horizontal direction. but different colors are now going to trace different paths. So what that means is if sunlight is on a collection of raindrops over here, then what you're looking at when you look at these different angles, if you look at the somewhat smaller angle here of 40.8 degrees, you're going to be seeing light, which will follow this kind of pattern that we've said, what happens to the light when it goes first inside and then back outside of the raindrop. You're going to be seeing at this angle light corresponding to the color blue. Okay. If you look a little bit higher up, well, you see the way the red light is, the path the red light is following in relation to the blue light. This angle will be somewhat greater. It's 42.5 degrees measured relative to the direction the sunlight was originally coming at before it hit the raindrop. Okay. So if you're looking up, what you're going to see at this angle is blue light. And a little bit higher up, you'll see somewhere in between, maybe green light, and go further orange, and eventually you get to red light. And this is the cross-section of a rainbow, the vertical cross-section of a rainbow. The lower color will be blue, and then it'll be green, and the other colors, and eventually red. And then after that, you don't see anything after that. Okay, so this is the origin of rainbows. Okay, now explaining why you have an actual bow. Well, there's like a semicircle. There's where you have to kind of think through this picture, but you have to visualize things in 3 dimensions as opposed to just a 2-dimensional cross-section of a three-dimensional system. And if you were to do that, you would find that the prediction would be that the light, not only would the light be broken up into the different colors, but the colors would be bent into the shape of a bow, of a semicircle. That turns out to be a result of the spherical shape of the droplets. So don't worry too much about the shape of the rainbow. What I want you to understand, based on the information provided in this slide, is why you see the colors in the arrangement that you do. Why blue light, and then the other colors, including green, and then eventually red light at the top of the rainbow. Okay? So this is a really nice application of dispersion. I always include some kind of question on the final exam that tests your understanding of the physical origin of rainbows, and I will certainly do that on the final exam this year as well. So make sure you go through this and you understand it. For one thing, it's going to be on the final exam, but for another thing, I think it's really satisfying to understand something that you see in nature. Rainbows are beautiful. We all love to see them whenever they come out, and now you understand what their origin is. Okay, that is it.